There are no pictures, plans, or wartime documents dealing with gas chambers or any plan to exterminate the Jews during the supposed Holocaust. And we can't use the excuse that the Nazis destroyed all of that evidence because after we broke the German codes, we were able to intercept their secret transmissions, including those from Auschwitz. There were no plans ever discussed, no numbers discussed, no techniques, no orders given. Zyklon B was in widespread use throughout Europe at the time for pest control, and it's found in all of the concentration camps, including those that are not said to have had gas chambers in them. Aerial photos taken of Auschwitz during the war show no signs of people being gassed, bodies being burned, or the stores of fuel that would be required to power the crematoriums. World War II lasted a total of 6 years. Assuming that Hitler started gassing Jews since day one, that makes for 3,153,600 minutes. 6 million Jews killed during 3,153,600 minutes comes out to 1.9 Jews per minute. That means Hitler killed roughly 1 Jew every 30 seconds. In Auschwitz, the most famous and biggest concentration camp, there are 15 crematoriums. According to Auschwitz survivors, Jews would go into the chamber, gassed for 15 to 20 minutes, then put into the oven. It takes 1 hour to cremate a body using modern furnaces, which operate at much higher temperatures than the traditional ovens at the camp. However, let us say that the ovens were operating at a level that we see today. That means it would take 1 hour, 20 minutes to gas and burn 15 Jews, assuming they were all burned simultaneously. This is, of course, disregarding the time it would take for the gas to empty the chamber, for the bodies to be transported from the chamber to the oven. The elevators used to transport bodies were very slow and could only take up 7 bodies at a time with their weight capacity. However, for our greatest ally, we're going to assume that the bodies were magically teleported.
Did you hear that? Our greatest ally? Bro, tell me he's not a bit based, right? Tell me this didn't convince him a little bit, right?
Instantly from chamber to oven as soon as they were deceased. That means 15 Jews were gassed and burned every 1.5 hours. That comes out to exactly 300 Jews every 24 hours. Assuming the gassing and burning of the Jews was happening every hour straight without stopping for 6 years on an uninterrupted basis, the total number of killed Jews would be 657,000 for those 6 years. The official tally is that 4 million Jews were killed at Auschwitz alone. Even at the other official story of 2.5 million, only then it adds up. But assuming for 3.1 million minutes of 24/7 gassing, that's way more than existed. Of course, we would need some time travel. Supposed gas chambers do not have gasketed doors. They do not have fireproof switches, bulbs, or wiring. The gas is flammable, and the inlets in the roof that are said to have been the point of introduction for Zyklon crystals were, according to senior officials, added after the war. Dr. Francis Piper, the senior curator and director of archives at the Auschwitz State Museum, admitted on camera to David Cole that Crema 1, the alleged gas chamber at Auschwitz main camp, was in fact a reconstruction built by the Soviets after the war under direct orders from Stalin. This includes the fake chimney that is not even connected to the crematorium. There's pictures of that. In 1988, an execution equipment expert, a gentleman named Leuchter, who created the famous or infamous, perhaps, Leuchter report, conducted forensic examinations of the gas chambers. He took samples from 4 chambers at Birkenau, the one at the main camp at Auschwitz, and a control sample from one of the disinfectant chamber. Not disinfectant. It's the disinfestation chambers that we know used Zyklon B. It was used to deal with the lice problem. The gas chamber showed almost no traces, whereas the disinfestation sample went literally off the scale. In 1990, the Institute for Forensic Research in Krakow attempted to refute these results, and their own tests came back with identical results. Denying the Holocaust, by the way, is a criminal offense, and it carries a prison sentence in several European countries. The Holocaust is the only event in history to be enforced by law, and it's the only conspiracy theory we'll talk about tonight that simply suggesting is literally against the law in 15 countries in Europe.
Bro, tell me that isn't fucking crazy. Tell me that isn't like the most fucking concise explanation you've heard.